And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC number 135. Your weekly dose of Tuna Cup action. I'm of course your side VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all to something special. Welcome to a special PTR edition, Public Test Realm, the second edition here of the second PTR version of the STC, and we're jumping into our first series of the broadcast. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing among SC2 people. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player from Atlanta, France. It is hinO. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we do get ready for our initial best of 3. Let's go. We're going over the brackets a little bit later on in the broadcast. After we wrap up this series, of course, we will get there. Otherwise, we have our initial best of 3, and we open up with a 12 pool. Let's go. We open up with, I say 12 pool, I believe it was an earlier pool timing here out of hinO. With this, we're going to be getting access to earlier link production. The gases have not been taken, and hinO is in position to expand, so this should not be an all-in. We're going to be aggressive, that is true, but I believe this should be a more economic variation. We'll see as ReBellioN does come in for the scout. Does come in, will look to disrupt the initial expansion. There goes a pylon block, goes further into the main base, and will confirm the early link production. Based on timing, this is either an 8 or a 10 pool. I wasn't quite able to confirm exactly, but the pylon does at least delay, and behind this we have extra links in production to reaction as response. Zelda's on the way. Cybercore as well. We have the high ground wall off here already out of ReBellioN. Ay. So for those that are curious, it is standard to wall off on the low ground in the live version of the game, but because of these potential early pool timings and the boys being pulled, hinO is blindly pulling the boys and blindly going for an all-in against a blind high ground gate setup, and as a result, ReBellioN, he will have that advantage. He does have a stronger defense here on top of the ramp. And I know, yeah, now links, they do confirm. Behind this, ReBellioN has no idea that the boys are being pulled, so here come the boys, and they can, of course, middle walk past the Zealot. They can get past. Probe comes in to re-wall, and we do barely re-wall in time, but the pylon is low. The pylon is very low. Battery is now on the way. Backup pylon as well. The wall is broken. We do flood in. Yeah, flooding in. The boys are being pulled. This does feel a little bit late. Adept does arrive. You have to make sure it doesn't get surrounded. Oh, make sure. And with that, the probe, the Adept does not get surrounded. The boys are being pulled. We get a surround on the initial drones, and with that, Lings are getting a lot of damage, actually. Oh my god, the Lings! The Lings, they pop off, and hinO, it looks like he's done. It looks like he may have. I say that the battery does finish. We pull back to the battery. We pull back. Yeah, the battery does help, but it still might not be enough. There are just so many Zerglings here. Yeah, too many Zerglings in the end. It looks like every probe will go down. Critical damage, and we go back home. hinO, he does pull back home to drone to saturate. GG gets called, and hinO will take game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. I appreciate that the ReBellioN set up in the main expansion, set up at the ramp as well, but was unable to confirm how committed the all-in was. If you remember, we spoke about how initially, as I'm set up my camera, but initially we were set up in such a manner where it looked like we could be expanding, right? The drone was on low ground, we went for the pylon block as well, so Belhas ReBellioN, he was kind of gambling a little bit whether or not there would be an expansion. He did not know that the boys were being pulled, and by the time he realized, it was a little bit too late. We were waiting for the Cybercore to finish for the second unit of choice, and likewise we were not able to wall off in time. The production was just too late there to actually wall off. GG, well played. So again, hinO with a nice little rush here to kick things off. As I mentioned previously, this was an earlier pool timing. Again, I wasn't quite paying attention at the time whether it was an 8 pool or a 10 pool. But early pool, link flood, drone flood there by hinO does catch ReBellioN off guard. And can we catch him off guard again? I do favor ReBellioN in a longer mid to macro game, and again, we'll see if we can embrace a longer game here, or if we end things early once again. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing among SC2 people down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is ReBellioN. Un momento. As I quickly Set up our players. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have Zipno, we have the... Bam, there we go. We have the French Zerg player, the French Zerg player himself, the blue Zerg. It is hinO. Leading the series 1-0. Does lead the series here, and so far get a cheeky build in game one. Here we are joining. We're joining with saturating. There's no early pool timing here out of hinO, not this time. So standard opener out of our blue Zerg player so far, and ReBellioN back at home once again going for the high ground wall up. Except this time we have access to a pocket expansion, so a much stronger defensive setup here for ReBellioN. And I mean, thankfully hinO is not going for any kind of early aggression. So probes got across the map at ReBellioN. Does scout, does move out. And can breathe easy, confirming the hatchery across the map. Do you see that hinO's going for his own proxy hatchery here? I would imagine hatch block, or maybe something a little bit more sinister, as the drone can come in from behind through the mineral patch into the pocket expansion. So cheeky move here out of hinO. Probe does confirm that it was a hatch first. There we go. Does confirm. But again, does ReBellioN check the pocket expansion? We'll see if he does check. Now, he should recognize, of course, that hold up, there are no gases and the pool is only just now being thrown down as well. So this is a little bit suspicious here from the side of hinO. Where was that money spent? We know that it was spent in expansion, but again, it's on ReBellioN to try to piece it all together here. To attempt to. Ah, railgun, no. So just catching up with the chat. Este railgun. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, papi, not like this. One of these days, papi, one of these days. We'll get you in, we'll get you in. For now though, again, we're going for that proxy hatchery. The pool is done. We have lings that are on the way, and we're going to get lings coming from behind as well. Even spine crawlers. Let's go. There we go. The drones have arrived. Spine crawlers being thrown down, and ReBellioN is still unaware. Just now sees. Yeah, he does see the creep. He's now somewhat aware as to what's going on. We'll see how he reacts. So far, there is no reaction. Yeah, ReBellioN fixating elsewhere. Now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. Now he's aware. Pylon is thrown down. Battery here on the right hand side is a little bit further back. These spine crawlers will finish. They will finish up. Now the void ray will allow for some void ray production. So sorry, the Stargate. The Stargate will allow for some void ray production. So there is going to be a way to eventually clean this up. But again, it's still a ways away. The Stargate's just now finishing. Meanwhile, the spines are already done. Spine crawlers, they should be moving forward. Creep as well. We're getting within range of the pylon. We got two batteries on the way here on the right hand side. And lings that do get caught out by some adepts. Yeah, they're getting caught out. So nice damage here in the main. Takes down 6 probes. Oh, 7. Yeah, 7 probes do fall. Nice pickups. 8 even. Jesus. Yeah, an 8th work here on the right hand side. So this is already getting a little bit out of hand here. Again, the Void Ray should be able to dive on the Queen and keep pushing. Unfortunately, there's no Spore here to help support the Queen. There's no Spore. There's no second Queen. So ReBellioN should hold here, I feel. Spore just now begins, but I feel like this should be too late. Yeah, 2 batteries and a Void Ray with Prismatic Alignment, like no shot. Okay, hunts down the spines, the Queen, the Spores thereafter. Again, some ways to DPS here from ReBellioN, a little bit of messy control. But overall looking solid. Looking solid. Oh, has to be careful. Does have to take care. More tumors being spent in the main. Yeah, the Void Ray taking damage from the Spore did eat up a lot of his shield battery energy. And even no, this is the Void. Oh my god. Once again, miscontrol at ReBellioN. Now Link's up again. No, GG. It's again ReBellioN. He has some miscontrol and things that get out of hand, and with that, hinO will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, we did see that ReBellioN seemed a little bit careless with his Void Ray, not even just referring about him just wandering within range of the Spore Crawler, but even before that, we saw that he had the Void Ray on A moves, so he was wasting DPS shots on on Overlords instead of on the Spine Crawlers and then on the Spore Crawlers themselves. I feel like if ReBellioN was a little bit more attentive and maybe took it a little bit more seriously and respected the threat of the rush as hard as it needed to be, I do see a world where ReBellioN, with that same build, with that same response, with just a little bit more care and attention to focus on the spores before they even finish, right? Like I can see them just being like, even a world where the Void Ray ignores the Spine Crawlers and after killing the Queen just focus on the spores one after the other as well, and then the Void Ray can help like maintain that defensive setup. Then you have a stronger ground army as well, then you have extra energy on the batteries more importantly, and you can start to wall off and secure your main, and it just all fell apart. Just a couple of little minute details going awry, and then everything just cascades out of control. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, as hinO does claim the series 2-0. Big upset, I would say, in favor of hinO. Big upsets as he will be advancing on into the next round. Let's go. Let us go. It is going to be a bit of a shorter broadcast here tonight. Let's catch up on the bracket itself.